Claustrophobia, the fear of small spaces. This affects about 5 to 10% of people. It makes people run for the stairs instead of getting in the elevator, panic in MRI machines, lose their mind in crowded subway cars during rush hour. Even just thinking about being trapped can trigger intense anxiety. This often starts after something bad happens, like getting stuck in an elevator as a kid, or being locked in a closet during a game. Here's the cruel joke. Modern life seems designed to torture these people. Elevators in every building, airplane seats getting smaller and smaller, tiny office cubicles, packed subway cars, small bathrooms at restaurants. The world looked at this phobia and said, let's make everything smaller and more crowded. For someone with severe claustrophobia, just going to work is an exhausting exercise in avoiding panic. If you find this interesting, hit that like button. It really helps. Trypanophobia, the fear of needles. This affects up to 25% of adults. Yes, a quarter of the population. It became a huge deal during the pandemic when everyone needed vaccine shots. For people with trypanophobia, that was basically a nightmare. It's not just about the pain of getting poked, though that doesn't help. It's about the anticipation, the loss of control, the sight of the needle itself. Some people will skip vaccinations, avoid necessary medical care, even refuse pain medication because the needle is worse than the pain it would prevent. The frustrating part is needles are everywhere in modern medicine. Blood tests, vaccines, dental work, they all involve needles. Doctors can't exactly not use one. Some people develop coping strategies, looking away, bringing stress balls, listening to loud music, asking to lie down beforehand so they don't faint. The fear of needles can also make you faint, just like the fear of blood does. It's not the needle that makes you pass out, it's the anxiety. Here's the bad part. You get scared, you might faint. That fear makes you even more nervous. Being more nervous makes you more likely to actually faint. And then next time, your brain remembers that happened, so the phobia gets worse. It's a nasty loop. Cynophobia, the fear of dogs. Yes, dogs. Those adorable tail-wagging creatures the internet is built on. But for about 5 to 7% of people, man's best friend is more like man's worst nightmare. This often starts after something bad happens, like getting bitten as a kid, or being chased by an angry dog. One bad moment can rewire your whole brain. Suddenly, every wagging tail looks suspicious. Every bark sounds threatening. That friendly golden retriever running toward you at the park might as well be a wolf. Here's what makes this one so tough. Dogs are everywhere. Parks, sidewalks, cafes, your friend's house, even your office sometimes because someone brought their emotional support animal. A simple walk to the store becomes a stressful game of dodge the dog. And when dog owners shout, "Don't worry, he's friendly," while their big dog charges at you. Yeah, that doesn't help at all. The size of the dog doesn't always matter. Some people with cynophobia are just as scared of a tiny chihuahua as they are of a huge Great Dane. It's not about logic. It's that primal fear feeling that takes over the moment they see those 4 legs and a tail. Hemophobia, the fear of blood. This affects about 3 to 4% of people. Most people aren't thrilled about blood, but hemophobia takes it to another level. We're talking about people who faint at the sight of blood. Their own blood, someone else's, even fake blood in movies. Here's what makes this one unique. It's one of the only phobias that actually causes fainting. When most people see their trigger, their heart rate goes up. But with hemophobia, seeing blood causes something called a vasovagal response. Your heart rate and blood pressure suddenly drop. And boom, you're on the floor. Your body hits the emergency shutdown button. This creates awkward situations. Getting blood drawn at the doctor. Nightmare. Watching medical dramas. Can't do it. Someone gets a paper cut. Time to look away. People with hemophobia often have to warn doctors before any procedure. Many have learned to lie down before getting blood drawn, just in case. If you're enjoying this, please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. Aerophobia, the fear of flying. This affects somewhere between 10 to 40% of people, depending on how you measure it. That huge range exists because it includes everyone from people who get a little nervous during takeoff to people who would rather drive for 3 days than spend 3 hours on a plane. Here's the irony that makes this one so frustrating.
Flying is one of the safest ways to travel. You're more likely to get hurt in a car accident on the way to the airport. But try explaining statistics to your brain when you're sealed inside a metal tube at 35,000 feet. Logic doesn't stand a chance. For many people, the fear isn't really about crashing. It's about the complete lack of control. You're trusting your life to pilots you never met, technology you don't understand, and a machine that seems to break the laws of physics. Plus, there's turbulence. That feels like the plane is being tossed around by an angry giant. Pilots say it's fine, but those overhead bins look like they're about to pop open. That doesn't help. The small space is bad too. You're stuck in your seat for hours. Every sound becomes suspicious. Every bump feels like disaster. And if you need the bathroom, you have to walk through a shaking tube while trying not to think about how high up you are. Aquaphobia, the fear of water. This affects about 2 to 3% of people. We're not talking about a healthy respect for the ocean. We're talking about genuine fear of water itself. Pools, lakes, bathtubs, sometimes even being near big bodies of water. This often starts after a near-drowning experience, or just a scary moment in water as a kid. Maybe you went under for a few seconds and panicked, or someone thought it would be fun to throw you in the deep end before you could swim. Thanks for that trauma, Uncle Jerry. Now you can't even enjoy a beach vacation without your heart racing. What makes this one isolating is how much human recreation involves water. Swimming pools, beaches, boat trips, even kids' birthday parties with sprinklers. Summer becomes the most stressful season, full of invitations you have to awkwardly say no to. And people don't always understand. They say things like, just get in, you'll be fine, as if phobias respond to peer pressure. The fear doesn't stop at swimming. Some people with aquaphobia feel scared in the shower in heavy rain, or even walking across a bridge over water. Their brain has decided water is dangerous, and it won't take any risks. Now, if water scares you that much, just wait until you hear what happens when you look down from a tall building. Acrophobia, the fear of heights. This affects about 5% of people. It can range from feeling sick on a tall ladder to full-blown panic attacks just looking at a balcony from the ground floor. People with severe acrophobia avoid tall buildings, bridges, escalators, anything above a few feet. Roller coasters? Absolutely not. Glass floor observation decks? That's basically torture. A little bit of height anxiety is actually normal and healthy. It stops you from doing stupid things like leaning too far over a railing. But acrophobia takes that reasonable caution and multiplies it by 1,000. Your brain sees height and immediately plays a full-length disaster movie in your head. You falling in slow motion. The worst part, our modern world loves heights. Skyscrapers, rooftop restaurants, glass elevators that let you watch the ground get farther away. It's like society looked at people with acrophobia and said, you know what, would be cool, making everything really, really tall. Some people with acrophobia even get weird thoughts about jumping, even though they don't want to. Their brain just plays the cruelest trick. Ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes. Now this one is a heavyweight champion. About 1/3 of adults feel this to some degree. That makes it one of the most common phobias in the world. And honestly, our ancestors would be proud, because this fear probably kept them alive. There's something deeply unsettling about snakes. Maybe it's the slithering, the lack of legs, those unblinking eyes that stare into your soul, or the fact that some of them can kill you with one bite. Evolution programmed us to be careful around these danger noodles, the humans who thought snakes were cute and wanted to cuddle them. Yeah, they didn't pass on their genes. Even people without the full phobia feel weird around snakes. You might live in a city where snakes are rare. Then you go hiking one weekend, and bam, there's a snake on the trail and your brain short-circuits. For people with severe ophidiophobia, even pictures on TV can trigger anxiety. Zoo trips become missions to avoid the reptile house.